The Oregon Ducks get even more great news after statement win. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. Together with my buddy Aaron, we are the Big Ten guys. Tune in every day for the latest news, insights, analysis. If you're a fan of Oregon or any Big Ten team, this is the channel for you, so don't miss out. Take just a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, maybe even get some alerts on, because we got a lot more great content coming, taking you through this entire college football season. And it looks like it's going to be a fun one for you Oregon fans. I mean, my goodness. Like, those Oklahoma State players have families. Like, have some decency. I know Mike Gundy, threw some shade at, the NIL money and the boosters that Oregon has. But my goodness, like, just annihilated them. I mean, you should be thrilled as Oregon fans. But I think another big story that not a lot of people in the Big Ten are talking about is that Penn State looked pretty rough this week. And, like, if I'm an Oregon fan, I'm sitting here thinking, I'll pull up Oregon's schedule here real quick. So you have, obviously 2-0, you're going to be 4-0, but then that one big-time game is going to be at Penn State. I don't think any other team on this schedule is even going to come within 3 scores of you. Iowa on the road can be tough, but I wasn't super impressed with them. USC's been pretty good, but they're not going to win at Oregon. Same with Indiana. Like, this is the one game on the schedule, one of the toughest places to play, number 2 team in the country. But if you look at Penn State so far, like, they're struggling on offense. They're struggling to finish drives. They had 9 straight drives to start the FIU game that went into FIU territory, and they came away with 2 touchdowns and just 20 points. Like, this game was 10-0 at halftime. And I think a lot of times when that happens, when a team can drive but can't get in the end zone and score a touchdown, it is the quarterback position. Like Penn State, we all know they can run the ball. Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton, one of the best running back duos, maybe the best running back duo in the country. But when you get near the goal line or get into the red zone and teams can start sending more pressure because they have less area to cover behind them, Penn State hasn't been able to run the ball there, and Aller hasn't been good enough to get the ball into the end zone. And that's huge for Oregon, because I think a lot of people were expecting Drew Aller to take that next step this year to be potentially a Heisman caliber quarterback, and we just haven't seen that so far. But do you know who we have seen that from thus far? Is the Oregon Ducks. I mean, Dante Moore has been absolutely slinging it. Nearly perfect against Oklahoma State. I mean, and this is a Power 4 team. Like, yeah, I think they went 3-9 last year, but some people feel like they have improved and could potentially be like a 7-8, even 9-win team this year. Should at least be a team that goes bowling. So to just absolutely annihilate them like this is super impressive. And, frankly, Oregon probably could have hung 100 on them if they wanted to. It was that bad. And I'm a little surprised Dan Lanning didn't. He and Oregon obviously wanted to make a statement after what Mike Gundy said. And Lord knows they did. I guess, Mike Gundy, I'll say fool around and find out. I can't say anything different on YouTube or they'll, flag me or whatever. But he found out what happens when you call out a team as talented as the Oregon Ducks. And then I think the Ducks are starting to get some pretty big-time recognition across the country. So I have an article here from ESPN kind of going through, like, overreactions, underreactions from the first few weeks. And we get down to Oregon, and they say, true or false, Oregon is the best team in the country. And they say true. They, like, ESPN, who was kind of low on Oregon to start the year, is just like, okay, we were wrong. Like, this team is absolutely absurd. Their SP plus metric that kind of tracks all the different metrics that make up like a talented college football team had them at 7th at the start of the year, and ESPN was even saying, like, with all the new starters, I think 7th is a little high. But 2 weeks later, and they are number 1 in the SP Plus rankings, above even Ohio State. So I think, Oregon fans, you got to be thrilled with these first couple weeks. And then, obviously, I'd love to hear from you, Oregon fans. Give me your takes on the first few games. Who have you been most surprised by? But maybe some of these receivers, like Malik Benson has been really good. Jeremiah McClellan, obviously, we all knew DeCorian Moore was going to be a star. Gary Bryant's been really good. I think the one thing that's kind of surprised me, and he did get more carries in this game, but we haven't seen a lot from Mekhi Hughes. I know Aaron and I talked about him in the preseason and mentioned him as somebody who people were talking as like a potential Heisman or Doak Walker Award or Maxwell Award winning running back. I think he was on the watch list for those, and a potential first team all Big Ten kind of guy. But through 2 games, he hasn't really done a whole lot. So just imagine what's going to happen if you get him going, because the rushing stats just absurd in this game. With 37 carries for 312 yards and 5 touchdowns, and you didn't even need Mekhi Hughes to have a great game to achieve that. So if you can get him going, sky's the limit with this offense. And then, just looking forward, where was that schedule? Right here. Northwestern, they got to be like wondering if they even want to play this game after what just happened to Oklahoma State. Northwestern is pure garbage this year. I expect that to be another one where Oregon wins by 50 and Dante Moore is watching the game on the sidelines in the second half. Oregon State's a little better, but even that's going to be a blowout. But then big game week 5 against Penn State. Like I said, Penn State hasn't looked really good. I think going into the year, Penn State was a 3-point favorite. Let me see if I can get the line here. Gosh, 6.5 points still from Penn State. I might, when I'm done with this video, get on ESPN Bet and take the Ducks to not only cover that, but win that game. Like, to me, Oregon has been the best team in all of college football this year. I think an undefeated season and another Big Ten championship is very possible. And then hopefully, for your sake, Oregon fans, you can get it done in the playoffs this year. I think all that is on the table. But yeah, drop me your thoughts, and then don't forget, like and subscribe on your way out. Lots more Big Ten and Oregon content coming.